Hello everyone and welcome back to another Movie Nights movie review. My name is Dalton and today I'm going to be telling you about Zombieland Double Tap. This film was directed by Ruben Fleischer and stars Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Abigail Breslin, and Emma Stone. And it is a sequel to the 2009 film Zombieland. 10 years later, the cast and crew have reunited to make a sequel with the same director and writers returning. A Zombieland sequel has always kind of been talked about as soon as the first one came out. They even tried to do a little TV show, but it didn't work out very well. But needless to say, after all this time, people were wondering, would it still work? Is this something that is still viable? Can this cast come back and recreate the same magic as the first movie? Well, for the most part, yeah. Right off the bat, I gotta let you know, this movie was loads of fun. Me and the entire audience I was with was eating that movie up every second it was on the screen. The jokes have stepped up their game and were hilarious. The dynamic and chemistry between the cast that you remember the first time around is still excellent. There are even a couple really well-directed sequences, and the movie also has a heart much like the first movie did. Now, I will say, while the film was a lot of fun and it was still pretty good, it isn't as good as the first film, but it's not a huge step down by any sense of the word. The only real negatives I have with this film are that there were some areas where it just refused to get back on track with its story, and characters make very abrupt decisions that completely go against the arc that was being set up for them, and it happens a few times throughout the film, and it was a little distracting and off-putting, but then the movie gets right back to being fun, and then you kind of don't care. The violence and gore was still pretty awesome. The rules of Zombieland come back, and they were always fun to talk about. Something that I feel this movie got right the most is it remembered that the reason why people were coming back was not just because of zombies, because there's so much zombie pop culture that you can consume, but we came back for these characters and the interaction these characters have with one another. And the film did a great job of bringing these characters back, showing how well they interact even 10 years later, even if some of their storylines and decisions didn't really make a whole lot of sense. Oh, also, and before I go, I have to say, Zoe Deutch plays a character in this movie, and she stole every scene that she was in. She was absolutely fantastic, hilarious, pretty much plays like the stereotypical dumb blonde, but does it in such a persistent way that every line out of her mouth made my audience laugh, and especially just the way her and Jesse Eisenberg and Emma Stone played off of each other was just a really funny trio, and she kind of stole the movie away from everyone, and we came back for everybody else. So just her standout performance was something that I felt was really noted. Overall, really fun sequels, great to see them back. The character dynamics and interactions are still great, but some of the story didn't make any sense, and some of the character decisions were just really kind of baffling, and you can tell that the movie kind of should have had a bigger budget, but just with the return, they didn't know how much they would make, so some of the CGI looks a little shoddy, but overall, it was a really fun time, and I'm gonna give Zombieland Double Tap a B. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon.